I hope you should have received a folder. I think Karthik would have sent a folder. The folder name will be Microsoft Excel exercise. There is a folder. I think it's a zip file. This zip file, please unzip that file. Unzip the file. Don't. Unfortunately, in latest Windows, we have an option straight away to open it. If I download this file and double click, and that file will get opened straight away. Don't do that. Don't do that. So if you open it, it will be a read-only format. Read-only format. So what you do is, please extract it. You can see there is a difference between a folder and there is a difference between a zip file. This is a zipped file. You can see there is a zip image appearing, and there's a folder means you will get a folder like this. So it's not a folder. So please make a right click on it. I think the instruction is already given on that mail itself, on that message. Right click on the file and extract that file. Please right click on that Microsoft Excel exercise file and extract all. Please extract all. And extract it and put it onto any folder as per your wish. D drive, C drive, my documents, desktop, anywhere else. Just extract the file and put it into any folder, and you will get this list of files. 01 pivot, 05 revenue analysis, 06 machine feed data, city months wise, warehouse, some text file, some Excel file, some CSV file, some folders. Today and tomorrow we are going to see how to combine the folders, how to combine the files, how to combine the sheets, how to put the text files, CSV files. So many things we are going to learn today and tomorrow. These are all the files which we are going to use today and tomorrow. I think there will be 17 files totally. 17 business transaction. 01, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09 is a folder. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. I hope everyone has downloaded the file, and please unzip it, extract it. Extract it and keep it ready. Done? Any challenges on that? Yes, please. Now, I am going to start with the introduction of this Microsoft Excel. Please do open the first file, 01 pivot. No, that's for me, sir. That file will not be there. If you don't want, I will delete that file. So backup data file. No, you have downloaded that file. It is in the Teams. It's in the Teams link. Download. We're able to download it. I'll just send it to me. So after extracting the file, please open that first file, 01 pivot. Please do open the first file called as 01 pivot. So we are going to start with pivot table. So please open the file pivot. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets. So we are going to work with this 4 sheets today. Our target is to, before the second tea break, maybe around 3 o'clock or something, we have to complete all the 4. We have to start Power Query today. If we are starting Power Query today, we are safe, so we can complete all the 17 exercise by tomorrow evening. Because Power Query is a very, very, very huge topics. So we'll start with this pivot. So please do open this 01 pivot, where I can see there are 4 sheets. Before starting pivot table, let me give a small introduction of Microsoft, a very small, a brief introduction, because you have to be aware of this. On the top, where we can see, open that 01 pivot. On the top, where we can see your file name and your software name is available. This we call it as, the name of this is title bar. On the left hand side of the title bar, you can see 3 or 4 buttons are available: auto save, undo, redo. So this area we call this as, this area where we have the undo, redo, this area is called as QUAT. What is the abbreviation for QUAT? Is Quick Access Toolbar. Sorry. Quick Access Toolbar. I don't know whether you know it. There are more than 12,000 features are available. I think we stopped counting. In early days, 2007, this is a number of feature. 2010, this is a number of. Now we stopped counting, because every day, every month, they are adding some new features. So there are more than 12,000 features are available in Microsoft Excel. Out of that, a survey says an average, an advanced user is using only 150 features. An average or advanced level user is using only 150 features. So approximately only 1% of Excel is explored. 99% of Excel is unexplored. So many features are hidden in Excel. So to activate that hidden feature, we can use this QUAT. For example, assume I want to send this data as a mail to someone else. Could you tell me how can I do that? Normally, how do we do it? One is copy paste. One is you will copy this data and go to Outlook and will be pasting it. But while copying and pasting, what is the challenge? Format. Format will be a problem. Alignment will be a problem. Instead, bring the Outlook to Excel. One click you can send a mail. No need for copying and pasting. No need for attaching the file. We can bring the Outlook to Excel. Yes, that chapter we'll see today. How to bring the Outlook to Excel. Like this, there are some hidden features available in Excel. To activate that hidden feature, we can use this QUAT. Okay, don't worry. Today we are going to explore that specific feature. How to send a mail from Excel itself straight away. No need to go to Outlook, copying and pasting. No need for attaching. Bring the Outlook to Excel. We'll do that today. Okay, so this is QUAT. Below the QUAT, this overall area put together, you can see this overall area: file, home, insert, page layout, formula, data, review, view. This whole area put together, we call this as, very good, ribbons. Whole area put together, we call it as ribbon. Why do I explain this on the first session itself? Is maybe today and tomorrow I will say click on the ribbon, click on the QUAT, click on the tab. You should know which is the tab, which is the ribbon, which is the QUAT. That's why I'm explaining this on the first session itself. And whatever I'm explaining, it's not only for Microsoft Excel, it's common for all the Microsoft tool, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Access, Project. Even if you compare Power BI also, I'll say the same thing for the first 10 or 20 minutes. This is common for all the Microsoft tools. So this is ribbon. On the ribbon, the first item, file, which is our Office button. The file, we call this as Office button. What is Office button? Backstage of your office. Backstage, background. If you want to do something on the backstage, then we can use this Office button. This is backstage. And home. there is home, there is insert, there is page layout. These are all called as tabs. Home is a tab, insert is the tab, page layout is the tab. These are all called as tabs. A special tab will appear. Maybe first session itself we are going to explore it. A special tab. Whenever insert a new thing, if you are inserting a pivot, if you are inserting a chart, if you are inserting a slicer, if you are inserting a timeline, if you are inserting a spark line, a new tab will get inserted here. New tab. All the tabs are fixed. Home inserts are fixed. But you will get a new tab. The tab will change based on the content. The content wise, the tab will keep on changing. That's why the tab is called as contextual. Contextual tab. The tab, a new tab will appear on the top next to the help. The tab is called as contextual tab. Okay. Can I close this? Whatever I have typed here. Can I close it? Yes, sir. You can ask the doubt straight away. So this is through an application called as Zoomit. It's an Windows application. If time permits, I will share you the link. It's just you have to open the file. After introduction is over, I will share you the file also. It's just a small file called as Zoomit. I don't know that's available state. I think the Zoomit. I will share you the link later and I will open and I will show you how I did it also. Right. So this is a contextual tab. Below the tab, clipboard. There is a clipboard, there is a font, there is an alignment. These are all called as clipboard is a group, font is a group, alignment is a group. On the corner of the group, if I go to the corner of the group, for example, if I go to the corner of a clipboard, there is an arrow mark. There is an arrow mark. There is an arrow mark here. There is an arrow mark. Unfortunately, in the styles, we don't have this arrow mark. So this arrow mark area, we call this as dialog box launcher. What is the dialog box launcher is? If I click on the dialog box launcher, you can see a new dialog box will get launched. Correct? When you click on the dialog box launcher, a new dialog box will get launched. Let me try that. When you click on the arrow, so I'm going to click on the arrow mark, you can see a new dialog box is launched. Okay. And all the other things available here, all the other things, this cut, copy, paste, all the other things available here, we call it as commands. Okay. We'll recap it again. On the top, where we can see your file name and your software name is available, which we call it as title bar. Super. On the left hand side of the title bar, 3 or 4 buttons available, which we call it as quad. Means quick access toolbar. The entire area is 3 buttons. On the thing, first one, file, office button. Excellent. Home, insert and page layout are all tabs. A special tab will appear whenever you insert a new thing. Contextual tab. Excellent. And this one, groups. On the corner of the group, there is an arrow mark. Dialog box launcher. All the other items we call it as commands. Do we have to remember this? No, not at all. Don't worry. These 2 days I will repeat this more frequently. 100% you will understand this. No need for remembering, marking it up. That is nothing required. I will repeat it more frequently. Right? Now, today or tomorrow, we are going to make a dashboard in Excel. When you make a dashboard, I want to see a bigger screen where I want to see multiple visuals. Unfortunately, when you see the dashboard, this ribbon may disturb my screen. So I want to hide that ribbon. Hide the ribbon. 2 methods. Method number 1. Go to the home insert page layout. Anywhere else on the home insert page layout. Using the mouse, just to make a double click. when you make a double click, the ribbon will get hidden. Same double click to unhide it, so that I will get some extra space, so I can add some more reports. So double click on the ribbon, same double click on the ribbon using the mouse. But I prefer to use the keyboard. Do you have a shortcut key? Of course. The shortcut key for hiding or unhiding the ribbon is Control F1. Some laptops, Control F1 may not work straight away. You have to press Control Function F1. What is the usage of this? Is hide or unhide ribbons. Okay. I recommend everyone to please practice it parallelly. If you have any challenges, any questions, stop me, ask me there itself. Yes, let me try this. Control F1 for hiding, same Control F1 for unhiding. All are getting Control F1 or someone is getting Control Function F1? All are getting Control Function F1. So then, not only for F1, for F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, for everything you have to press the function key. But I want to switch off that function key. So what you do is very simple. Function escape. Like caps lock on and off. If you press function escape, then the function key will be switched off. Next time straight away you can press Control F1, it will work. So don't do, who are all straight away using Control F1, don't do this. Who are all using Control Function F1, I want to switch off that function key. So function escape is the shortcut key for switch on and switch off the function key. Switch on or switch off function key. Okay. Now you can straight away press Control F1, correct? Right. So let me try this. Control F1, Control F1. Else. Control Shift F1. Some laptops you have to press Control Shift Function F1 if you are not switched off it, which is for hide or unhide all. No. If you straight away Control F1 is working, don't press Control Function Escape. It's not required. Function key working. So any challenges? Okay. So Control Shift F1 for hiding everything except the rows and columns. Except the rows and columns, if you want to hide everything, you can press Control Shift F1. Same Control Shift F1 for unhiding it. So Control Shift F1. Even you can hide this formula bar, you can hide this ABCD also. That probably we'll see it in our upcoming session. So Control Shift F1. Below this ribbon, you can see the cell number is displayed. Name of this is, you know that name of this is name box. Name of this is name box. Next to the name box, you can see there is a bar available. This bar is called as formula bar. If you are writing a very big formula, unfortunately today and tomorrow we are not going to write any formula. No formulas here, but still if you have written a formula, if you want to see a bigger formula, then we have a shortcut key for expanding that formula bar. Control Shift U is for increasing or decreasing your formula bar. Increase or decrease the formula bar. Or either you can go here and make a click here. There is an arrow mark here. If I make a click also, the formula bar will get increased or decreased. Control Shift U. Okay. Right. Of course, I believe everyone knows this. A, B, C, D are all columns. 1, 2, 3 are all. Why I am asking, still people are confused which is a rows and which is columns. When you raise a building, you will write a pillar like this. When you build a house, we will write a pillar like this. What is the name of it? Column. So A, B, C, D are all columns. You are sitting in a rows. These are all rows. Where the rows and columns are meeting, we call it as cell. Morning in the introduction, most of you has told that you know basics of Excel. So tell me, how many rows, how many columns are available in one Excel sheet? Any idea? Day by day you are using Excel. 10 lakh, 48,000, 576. 576. Rows, how many columns? 16,384. 16,384 columns in one Excel sheet. 10,48,576, 16,384. Do we have to remember it? Not at all. But there is a reason behind it. I will explain the reason also. Before seeing how many rows and how many columns are there, how do we check that? 2 or 3 methods. First method, there is a name box. Increase the width of the name box. There is a name box available. Increase the width of the name box. After increasing the width of the name box, between A and 1, there is a small triangle. Could you tell me what will happen if I click on the triangle? Select all. But click it and hold it. Don't remove the hands from your mouse. You have to click it and hold it. Yes. You can see on the top, 10,48,576, 16,384. 10,48,576. R stands for rows. 16,384. C stands for columns. But there is one more question. Why? There are exactly 10,48,576. There is 16,384 exactly. But what is the reason behind it? There is a reason. I hope you are aware of it. Computers doesn't understand our language. It understands only 0 and 1, which we call it as binary. Very good. All the things in computers is measured in a binary format. Correct? When you buy a pen drive, hard disk, anything, everything is measured in a binary format. 2 to the power. 2 to the power of 1, 2. 2 to the power of 2, 4. 2 to the power of 3. The power of 3. 8. 2 into 2 into 2 is 8. I think you will get a pen drive hard disk. 2 GB, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Same like here. This change of 16,384, 10,48,000 has happened from 2007 of Microsoft Excel. From 2007. 2007 of Microsoft Excel is the 14th version of Microsoft. It's the 14th version. We had version 1, version 2, version 3. This is the 14th version. So what I will do is equal to 2. Why 2? 2 means binary. To the power. Could you tell me how can I use that to the power in Excel? Multiplication, we have multiplication. Divide, there is a divide slash. But to the power, how can I use that to the power on your keyboard? Shift 6. Very good. Shift 6. 14. Why 14? Because it's the 14th version of Excel. So 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 14 times. 16,384. That is the reason why we have this much of columns. 2 to the power of 14. And 2007 is the 20th release. They will not release it straight away. If you release a vehicle, there will be some releases. You will change something, version, along with the version, there is some releases also. So 2007 is the 14th version and 20th release. So I can say it equal to 2 to the power of 20. 10,48,576. So this is the reason, this is the logic behind it. But you can ask me one question here. From 2007, because since it's the 14th version, we have 16,000. Since it's the 20th release, we have 10,48,000. After that, we have many versions, many releases. Is our rows and columns as updated? No, it was not updated. Still now, from 2007, nearly last 20 years, we had same number of rows, same number of columns. The reason is, after 2010, after 2010, Microsoft has launched this feature called as Power Query. Excel cannot handle a very big data. I don't know whether you have tried it. Just load 1 lakh, 2 lakh rows in Excel. Just to put a sorting, just to put a filtering. Excel will hang. Excel will not handle a very big data. So if you want to handle a very big data, do it through Power Query. That's what we are going to do today. I think every software has two options. One is the front end, another one is the back end. Correct? If you open a website, the website will be your front end. Back end, something will be there. On the back end, data will be stored in somewhere else in the back end. Unfortunately, we are treating Excel as the front end as well as Excel as the back end. We are adding the data in Excel, we are creating the report in Excel. But today and tomorrow, what we are going to do is we are not going to have the data in Excel. Data is not a database. Excel is not a database. Excel is used for analyzing your data. It's not a database. It will not store the data. 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 10 lakh, millions. Excel will not store it. Rather, store your data in Power Queries. Create a report in Excel. That's what we are going to do. That's the reason Microsoft has not upgraded that rows. So keep your data in Power Queries. Create the reports, charts, everything in. So that's what we are going to learn today and tomorrow. So that's the reason they didn't upgrade the rows and columns. That's we are going to do through Power Query. So both can be in a Power Query, consolidated, create a report. You can see it, the data will be on the right. Even if a company website you are creating so many reports and the report will be seen, but the data will be somewhere else. Right? SQL, Oracle. If you open IRCTC website, so many bulk, million, billion, trillions of data will be there, but still it's handling because the data is stored in some other else. Same right? Here the data will be stored in Power Query, reporting will be done in. That's what we are going to learn today. It can be lakhs, million, billion, trillions also. It will happen. Okay? Right? So this is the reason why we have this much of rows and why they have stopped it. The reason they have stopped it is as from 2010 we have this Power Queries and Power Pivots. And 2010 and 2013, the power pivots and power queries are add-ins. That means you have to download, we have to install the add-ins from 16. From 16 of Microsoft Excel, it's not add-ins, it's inbuilt. It's inbuilt. Power query is inbuilt. Power pivot is inbuilt in Microsoft Excel. We'll see how to get it. Unfortunately, you are not able to see it on the screen, but you will get it. We'll see how to get this. Today or tomorrow, we'll see that. Okay? Right. I think we are exploring what are all the options available in Excel. Now, as per my system, my first page is starting at 1 and first page is ending at 28 here. Similarly, on the right hand side, my first page is ending at R column. On the bottom, it is ending at 28. On the right hand side, it's ending at the R column here. I want to go to the next page downwards. How do I go to the next page downwards or rightwise? Downwards, you know that's very simple. Most of you would have been aware of it. There is a key called as page down. Some laptops you can use function page down, which will go to the next page downwards. Same like page up, function page up, which will go to the previous page upwards. Page up and page. This is upwards and downwards. That's very simple. But how can I go to the right hand side next page? Right hand side next page. Add one more key to that. Alt. Control is for next sheet. Alt. Page down. Some laptops you have to press Alt function page down, which will go to the next page on the right side. Right side next page. Next page right hand side. Same like Alt page up. Alt function page up, which will go to the previous page on the left hand side. Correct? Let me try this. Yes. Alt page down. Next page on the right. R is the last page. The first page. Then second page is yes. Yes. You can see the next page, next page, next page on the right. Alt page up, previous page on the left. Okay. So normal page up, page down is upwards and downwards. Alt page up and page down is leftwise and rightwise. Next pages. And this area, you know, this area is our name of this area. We call it as sheet tab. So to go to the next sheet, we have a shortcut key for going to the next sheet and previous sheet. But there are 2 or 3 methods. One by one we'll see. First method is control page up or control page down. Control page down or control function page down, which will go to the next sheet. Control page down will go to the next sheet. Control page up will go to the previous sheet. Control function page up will go to the previous sheet. This is for sheets, not pages. Correct? So we have seen all page up and page downs. Normal page up, page down, alt page up, page down, control page up, page down. So let me try that. Control page down will go to the next sheet, next sheet, next sheet. Control page up, previous sheet, previous sheet, previous sheet. Okay. But how do we jump between one sheet to another sheet? Here we have only 4 sheets. Okay. Suppose I have 40 sheets. I want to jump from the first to 10th, 10th to 100th sheet. two methods. First method, make a right click on the sheet tab area. This sheet tab area, just go to that sheet tab area and make a right click on the sheet tab area. If you make a right click on the sheet tab area, it will show you all the list of sheets. You can select the sheet and you can go to that particular sheet. Right click on the sheet tab area. One more method I will explain in another few minutes. Do you tell me how can I insert a fresh new sheet? I want a new sheet. How do we insert a new sheet? Control N is new file. New sheet is, one is you can make a right click and go for insert or else plus or else shift F11. Some laptops you have to press shift function F11. Insert a new sheet. There is no shortcut key for deleting a sheet. If there is a shortcut key also, I will never teach you the shortcut key for deleting. Because the reason is, if you delete a sheet, unfortunately recovering a sheet is very big challenge. If you delete a sheet, recovering is a little bit challenge. That's why I am not giving a shortcut key for it. Even Microsoft has not created a shortcut key straight away for this. So Shift F11 is the shortcut key for inserting a new sheet. Shift F11. If you don't want that sheet, right click and delete it. There is no data, it is deleted. But if there is a data, right click and delete. It will show you a message here. You can see the message. Microsoft Excel will permanently delete this sheet. So please be careful. If you delete a data, Control Z, you can get it back. If you delete a file, it will be in recycle bin. If we delete a sheet, it's a very big challenge. Then we have to recover it itself. I am saying it's not possible, but a little bit challenge to get it back. So please be careful before deleting a sheet. And I recommend try to have max of 255 sheets. That's my recommendation. Microsoft doesn't say that. Microsoft says unlimited. You can use unlimited number of sheets. My recommendation is 255. If you are going beyond 255 sheets, your system is slowing down and some formulas is giving a wrong result. Some formulas is giving a wrong result. Not error, wrong result. Instead of 10,000, it will show you 5,000. That's a bigger problem. At least if it is throwing error, we can find it. Instead of 10,000, it's showing 5,000. We'll think that it's giving a right result. So that's a bigger challenge. 255 sheet maximum. But how do I find how many sheets are there? Yes. Next method. Next method, we'll see how to find out what is the number of sheets. So to insert a sheet, right click or shift F11. On the bottom of the sheet, you can see there is a message called as ready. This area where we have the message called as ready, this area is called as status bar. In a status bar, like how do we do it in Excel, PowerPoint and Word. If I open a Microsoft PowerPoint, if I open a Word, I don't know whether you have noticed it or not. Suppose I open a Microsoft Word document. When I open a Microsoft Word document, on the bottom of your Microsoft Word document, you would have noticed that it will show you the page numbers here, correct? Page 1 of 1. If you have inserted one more page, it will say 2 of 2, 3 of 3, or 1 of 3. What is the total number of pages? We are in which page? Same like in PowerPoint also, it will show you slide 1 of 2, 1 of 3. So this option now it's available in Excel also. What you do is very simple. Go to the Excel status bar. Right click on the status bar. Just to make a right click on the status bar. A menu is appearing on the menu from the top, fourth one. From the top, fourth one, sheet number. Enable the sheet number just by making a click. Just to make a click on it. When you make a click on that, you can see on the bottom of your status bar, you will get the sheet numbers. How many sheets are there? We are in which sheet? There are totally 4 sheets. We are in the first sheet. So right click on the status bar and enable the sheet number. And one more advantage of enabling the sheet number is, first advantage is we are able to see how many sheets are there, we are in which sheet. Second advantage is you can navigate to that sheet, you can navigate to a table, you can navigate to a chart also. There is one method, you can make a right click and you can navigate to the sheet. But unfortunately, here assume I have 200 sheets. I know the sheet name. How can I search the sheet name? It's not possible. You have to manually click it and find it. But whereas when I go here to this sheet number, just click on that sheet number area. Just go to this sheet number. Click on the right hand side. You can see the navigation pane is appearing. Here you can select your sheets. Suppose I want to go to sheet number 04. You have to click here on this area, where it's showing that sheet number. Where the sheet number is shown, just to make a click. On the right side, it will show you the list of sheet and what are all the tables. For example, I want to go to sheet number 04. Just I will type 04. I'll go here and type it as 04 here. So it will straight away go to the 04 if you know the sheet. And I want to select in sheet number 4, there is one table. If you have 3 or 4 tables, it will show you 3 or 4 tables. If you have a chart, it will show you the chart also. I want to select this table, which is from A10 to J2510. I want to select the table. Click it. The table will get selected also. So this is another advantage of displaying the sheet number. So display the sheet number, which will show you how many sheets we are in which sheet. Second one is click on the sheet number. You can navigate to the sheet numbers. Or else, one more method for this navigation. One is you can click here and navigate. Another one is go to the tab called as View. Under the tab of View, you can see there is one more option, Navigation. This also opens that navigator on the right side. Correct? Same thing what we did it here. When I click on the sheet number, the navigation is opening. Go to the view, same navigation is opening. All right. Click on the navigation. Yes. And I want to know how many sheets are there. That is fine, it's shown here. I want to know how many data are there, which is my last row, how many formulas, how many tables. I want to know full statistics about this sheet, about the file. Right click on the same status bar, Same menu is appearing. Below the sheet number, workbook statistics. Just select that workbook statistics. Select the workbook statistics. And come out of your status bar menu, come out of this. Now on the bottom there is a workbook statistics. Just make a click. Yes. It will show you the workbook, which is our current sheet. And what is the last row of that current sheet? How many cells are filled with the data? How many tables are there? How many formulas are there? Totally how many sheets? What is the cell with the data? How many data are there in the entire file? How many tables? How many formulas? Where it will be useful? This will be useful when you are doing the accessibility and check performance. We have a separate chapter of accessibility and performance, improving the performance of your system. We are going to see it in another few minutes. To improve the performance, this will be very useful. Workbook statistics. So enable the workbook statistics and click on the workbook statistics, or else review. Below the review, there is workbook statistics. Next method. Either you click on the workbook statistics on the bottom or go to the review. Under review also you can click on workbook statistics. Both are same. Okay. We'll see another 2 new features, then we'll jump on to our pivot. Now, for example, if I go to some cells and I'm selecting some cells, I have selected sales margin. and I'm selecting some range of cells. Of course, you know it. I think this is available in all the version, but there is a new update in the latest version. On the bottom, you are getting some formulas. I think by default, you will get only 3, correct? Sum, average, and count. You will get only sum, count, and average. But I'm getting here sum, average, count, numerical count, minimum, maximum. I'm getting all this formula. How I'm getting all this formula is, right click on the status bar. Right click on the status bar and enable this average, count, numerical count, mix, maximum, minimum. Enable just to make a check mark on this. Just to make a check mark and enable everything. So I'm enabling the average, I'm enabling the count, I'm enabling the numerical count, minimum, maximum, and sum. I'm enabling everything. Now all are displayed here. You can see everything is displayed here. Average, count, numerical count, minimum, maximum, sum. This is available in all the version, but there is a new update in the latest version. I will explain that. You tell me, I think everyone knows what is Umesh sum. Sum is addition, total, maximum, highest, minimum, lowest. What is this? Count and numerical count. Count and numerical count. Both are same. Count of which one? Count. Numerical count. How many? How many cells are filled with numbers? That is numerical count. How many cells are filled with values? Any type of value. It can be a number, it can be a text, it can be a date. How can I find the differences? Here I have selected all the text. There is one more count available, that is distinct count, which is not part of Excel, which is part of Power Pivot, Power Queries. We'll see that later. One more distinct count. So now if I select it along with the heading, now you can see a difference. When I select it along with the heading, the count is 9, whereas the numerical count is 8. I have selected 9 cells which is having some value. 8 cells which is having only numbers. 1 cell is about text. Count will count how many cells are having values. Numerical count will count how many cells are having numerical values. But what is the new thing in the latest version is, I selected some range of cells and I'm getting some value on the bottom. Average, count, numerical count. Take some value. For example, I'll take this sum. 6792 is the sum. So let me click on that sum. So here I'm getting 6792. Just go to that 6792, just to make a click. Just to make a click. Just to make a click. And come somewhere else outside here. Paste it. Control V. Paste it. That value will get pasted. This is a new feature which is not in the older version. Older version you may not get this. This is a new feature in the latest version. So select some range and copy whichever the formula you want, whether average or count or anything. I want average, click on the average and go to somewhere else and paste it. The average value will get pasted, not the formula. Not the formula, only the average value. Okay. The last one. There are 3 types of views. Normal view, page layout view, page break preview. Specific for arranging the page setup and taking a printouts. If you want to arrange the page setup, header, footer, page setups and printouts, then we can use these 3 types of views. And everyone knows this. Plus and minus is our zoom slider. Increase or decrease the percentage of your view. 4 method. First method using the mouse, minus to decrease, plus to increase. Second method, if you are using a mouse, hold the control key, scroll up and scroll down, hold the control key, scroll up, scroll down. If you are using the touchpad on your laptop, touchpad, how do you do it on your mobiles? 2 fingers. Same thing can be used here. Using 2 fingers, you can increase or decrease the zoom percent. So, same thing, how do you do it on your mobiles? And one more advantage of using the 2 fingers is, even very fastly we can move it on the right side. Suppose I want to move it on the right side here. So, very fastly we can move it on the right, left, up, down. So, anywhere you can move like this. using the two fingers. There is a small bug in the next one, shortcut key. Please note down it. I think that bug will be solved as soon as possible. But as of now, I think some system it may work, some system it may not. But still note down that shortcut key for zooming in and zooming out.
Recording.
Control Alt plus for increasing the zoom percent. Control Alt minus for decreasing the zoom percent. You have to tell me whether it's working or not. I think both. Alt plus, Control Alt minus. Some system one may work, some system one may not, some system both may not work. The same shortcut key, so there is a small bug. I think they will fix the bug sooner. Everyone are getting it? No. Both are not working. In my system, Control Alt plus is working for me, fine. Control Alt plus is working, but Control Alt minus is not working properly for me. Okay. That's it about the introduction. So last few minutes are thing we have seen only what are all the elements, what are all the components, and what are all the options available in Microsoft Excel. That's it. Before going to the next feature, tell me as of now, any questions, doubts, queries of what we learned as of now? Yes? No? No doubts? No questions? Clear? There are two reasons for not getting doubts. One is everything understood, you will never get the doubt. Second one is nothing understood also. But as I told, the challenge is you can understand everything here. After 4:30 is a challenge. After the session is over, everything becomes blank. No other go. You have to practice, 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 and practice. Yes. Before moving on to the further, for the break, we'll see a small introduction. We cannot start pivot table. We'll see a small introduction. Before that, I want to know the version. The version is of course 365. Below 365, we have sub-level of version. I have to be aware of the version. How do we check it? Is File. Open Excel, go to File. Under File, from the last, the second one. From the last second one, Account. If you are not able to see the account on your screen, I think I am not able to see the account on the screen. The reason is the screen's resolution is very small. So then go to More. Under More, you may see the account. If you are straight away able to see the account, click on it. If you are not able to see the account, go to More and click on the account. Yes. On the right hand side, of course, it shows Microsoft is 365. But what I want to know is this one. Is it same to everyone or any changes? 2605. It's common to everyone or any 06 is the very latest. Last Friday, not this Friday. Last Friday, 2606 was introduced. But we didn't make a very big change in Excel. PowerPoint we had changed. PowerPoint they made a change in 2606. Excel not a very big change. 2605. Any other thing? 4, 24, 25, 5, 2605. That is okay. Then it's super perfect. So 2606 doesn't make a very big difference. Only a small change in PowerPoint. Excellent. So please come to the exercise number 01. We are going to start with pivot. This is a table. I have a table where I can see a number, maybe a reference number. And there is a zone, south zone, east zone, west zone, vehicle type, usage type, part category, service channel, location, procurement cost, handling charges, logistic expense, sales price and margin. We have a table. This table is fine and very simple, but I cannot make any analysis out of the table. For example, I want to know which region has more sales or which region the margin is more. We can do two things. In latest version, we have one more thing. Pivot table can be created. Pivot table can be used as a formula also. There is a formula available called as pivot itself. If time permits, I will explain that formula. Equal to, there is a formula called as pivot by. There is a function called as pivot by also. I will explain what is that pivot by. So there is a pivot by where we can create a pivot through a formula, and you can create a normal pivot also. First we'll start with the normal pivot, then time permits we'll see about pivot by. So this table, I want to convert this table as a report. That is, I want to know each zone what is my total sales, or each zone what is my margins. I want to convert it as a report. Before converting as a report, so what are we going to do? The tool which we are using it for creating a report is, of course, pivot. Any idea? Based on how many tables can we create a pivot? Any idea? Multiple? Have you ever created a pivot based on multiple reports? So you can create a report based on only one table. If you want to create a report based on multiple tables, then we have to use this tool, Power Pivot. This table is clean and perfect. We have the heading, columns, data, everything is perfect. Sometimes my data may not be clean. I want to clean up the data. As someone has told, consolidate the data, split the data, combining the data, writing the formulas and function, writing the lookup formulas and function, writing the if function, splitting, combining, consolidating, so many things we are going to do. For that, we are going to use the tool called as Power Query. We had a tool. Earlier days, we had a tool called as Power View. Now they have removed it. So all this combination of 4 tools only, Microsoft has created the new tool just exactly 11 years before. That is Power BI. So if you are started using this 3 things, that means you are nearing to Power BI. Okay, so we will start with this pivot now. Before creating a pivot, you have to know some condition. Condition number 1. I think most of you would have been aware of the condition. Condition number 1 is no merged cells. Condition number 2. Table should have a heading. Condition number 3. Heading should be I think first one everyone would have been aware, no merged cells. Second one also, table should have a heading. What is the meaning of the third one? Heading should be unique. Same heading, name should not be repeated. Okay, fine. So I understood this, no merged cells. I understood the table should have a heading, heading should be unique. Perfect. Now tell me, heading is fine, table is having the heading, that is perfect. And I can see here the heading is not repeated, that's also okay. But how can I find the merged cells, whether there is a merged cells or not? How do we find it? In this table, I want to know whether there is a merged cells or not. Yes, how do we do that? Normally, any idea? How can I find out a merged cells? Assume there is a merged cells in this table. How do we find it out? In old version, manually we have to do it, but in the latest version, before presenting the data, before sending the data, please do the 2 things. In PowerPoint, people will say before presenting, please check the spelling and grammars. Same like in Excel, before sending a data, before presenting a data, please check 2 things. First one is whether your heading is correct, whether there is no merged cells. I want to check it out. So what is the best method is go to the tab called as review. Under the tab of review, there is an option available, check accessibility. Check accessibility. So just to click on that check accessibility. When I click on check accessibility, on the right hand side, it's giving a message, looks good, no issue found. You should get this. If you get this, then you are perfect to go on and create a report. If there is some problem, please solve that problem here. For an example, assume for an example, here my data is perfect. Assume for example, wantedly I am going to do this. Assume in between, somewhere else, just for checking purpose, I selected some cells and wantedly I am merging the cells. Merge and center. I merge it. Later I will undo that. Okay, I merged some cells. Or someone has merged the cells and they are sending back to me. There is some merge cells, but I don't know where is the merge cells, whether the merge cells are available or not. Now let us go to the review tab. Let us click on check accessibility. It says looks good. It doesn't say looks good. Keep going. Fix the remaining issues. There is some issue in your table. What is the issue? Whether your color and background formatting is good or not. That is okay. No problem. Missing the alt text. Missing the alt text is for the physical challenged people. When you are using a picture, using a touch screen, I should understand what is the picture. I can give a text. For that, you can use the alt text. Whether your table is having the heading or not. Yes, my table is having heading. There is no problem. But the problem is here. Use merged cells. There is one merged cells available in your table. And the sheet name is correct. Whether you have some uncleared hyperlink. But the problem is in merged cells. So click on it. Yes. It will find where is the merged cells. It will locate the cell where there is merge. And even it will give you the solution for it also. Please split that cell. So whenever there is a merge, please do this check. As of now, I'm not unmerging it. I'm undoing it because I had some data here. So I'm undoing it. Control is that I'm undoing it because I did it just now. So before sending any report or before creating the report, please check the accessibility. Okay. Second thing which you have to check it is, when I clicked on the workbook statistics here, it says what is my last filled cell. The end of my sheet is L210. This is my last filled data, L210. So let me try that. And there is a shortcut key to go to the last filled cell. Anyone aware of what is the shortcut? Control? End. Very good. Superb. Some keyboard you have to press Control End. Some keyboard you have to press Control Function End, which will go to the last filled cell. You can see L210. This is the last filled cell. This is perfect. Perfectly correct. But sometimes what will happen in Excel is, we are not only using Excel for data analysis, we are using Excel for everything. I have seen some people are using Excel for data entry. Some people are using Excel for noting down the phone number, mobile number, email address. For example, assume that just for an example, in column number R or in some other column, maybe column number U, I am going to just enter some data. In column number U, I am entering a data and accepting it. Within few seconds, I deleted it. Even 1 or 2 seconds, I have deleted it. I have typed something and I have deleted something here. Now, I will use that shortcut key. Control and unfortunately, you can see where my table is ending. My table is ending at column number U. So Excel will consider this also as a part of your table. That's why you would have noticed your system is very slow. That's why you have noticed your system data is very lesser, file size is too large. When I upload it to Power BI or when I download it or somewhere else, you can see my file size is very slow. It's rotating because there is unnecessary rows and columns. Here it's okay, only 4 columns or 5 columns. Because suppose I'm typing somewhere else in ZZ, starting from A to Z, 200 columns. 300 columns, unwanted columns. It will increase your file size and decrease your system speed. and unwanted rows, unwanted columns are there. How do we, this is okay, this is very small, I have just typed one value and deleted it. But in near future, maybe tomorrow we'll try this. As of now, I think there is no problem. Tomorrow we'll try this to check or improve your performance of your system. Go to the review tab again. Check performance. Check performance. Review. Click on check performance. As of now, no optimization is required. Nothing to optimize in this workbook. This workbook is clear. Maybe we'll try this tomorrow. After creating some reports or doing some other activity, we'll try this. As of now, this data is clean and clear. So please do check two things before creating any reports or before sending the file to someone else, before mailing it. Make it as a prior. Take it as a habit or a practice every month, at least 1 or 2 times. Please do this. Open a file. If you see the file is very slow, it is like cleaning up. 5S. Unwanted data, remove the unwanted data, columns, cleaning up, standardizing, formatting. So please do these 2 things. One is check accessibility. Second one is check performance. Okay. So please do this before creating a report. I think as of now, this report, this file is fine and perfect, so we can create a report based on this. So I'm going to save this file. So we are going to create a report. Maybe the next half we are going to see how to make a report using this pivot table. As I told, our challenge is by after the second tea break we should start Power Query. That's our challenge, and as I told, it's not required rush up and finish the concept. You have to understand. Okay. As of now, any doubts? Question? Clear? So I have saved the file. So this is the right time to have a break. Yes, we'll take a break now. I am going to pause the video, not stop the recording. So let me go to the same file, exercise number 01. We have seen the introduction, what are all the elements and components and options available. And before the break, we have seen how to check the accessibility and we have seen how to check the performance. Now we are going to create a report. So let us take this sheet, EX01. We have a table. Based on this table, I want to create a report. What is the report I expect or I want to create is, let us take the first 2 columns, zone. Zone wise, vehicle type wise. There are zones, south, east, north and vehicle type. Under that zone wise, under vehicle wise, I want to know what is the sum of procurement cost, handling charges, logistic cost, sales price and margin. All this column, I want to summarize it for each region wise, each vehicle type wise. That's a report we are going to create now. Let us start with a simple report. Before creating the report, either place the cursor on the table or select the entire table. Either place the cursor on the table or select the entire table. Could you tell me how can I select the entire table? Any easy method, simple method or shortcut key to select the entire table? Control? Yeah, very good. But there is a small challenge in Control A. If it is a small table, I prefer to go with Control A. Unknowingly or knowingly, if you have pressed Control A twice or thrice, it may select the entire sheet. And if you place the cursor somewhere else on the top, sometimes my cursor will land into the last row. And you have to scroll up and you have to come to the first row here. That's a small challenge in this Control A. Any other method? One is Control A, but there's a small challenge. Unknowingly, if you selected the entire sheet, then there will be a problem. It will slow down your system speed. What is another method to select only the table? There is one more key, Control Shift Space Bar. That also will do the same thing, equivalent to Control A. Control Shift Space. Control Shift Space. Once again, if I press Control Shift Space second time, it may select the entire sheet again. So Control Shift Space also cannot be used. Some people will use this shortcut key. For example, they will go to the very first cell, Control Shift right arrow, Control Shift down arrow. This can be used, but one challenge in this is, If you have some empty cells in between, it will stop before the empty cell. So, what is the best method to select only the table S? The best and simple method is control asterisk. But if I press control asterisk, now straight away it will throw an error. If you have the number pad on your laptop, if you have the number pad, yes, go for control asterisk. But I don't have the number pad. If you don't have the number pad, what is another method for using this control asterisk? Where is that asterisk key on your keyboard? Above 8. So you have to press control shift 8. So this is the best method to select the entire table. You press control shift 8 once, twice, thrice, multiple. Never come out of the table. It will select only the table. It will never come out of the table. It will never come out of it. It will be on the table. On the table. Let me try that. Control shift 8 or asterisk. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 times, multiple times I am pressing. It never comes out of your table. It selects only the table. So I recommend this. Instead of using control A. Control A means all. Control A says all. So it will select the entire table. Sometimes select the entire sheets also. So better to go for this control shift 8 or asterisk. The best method to select the entire table. Okay. So either select the entire table or place the cursor on the table. I prefer to select the entire table. Now, let us go to the tab called as Insert. I'll go to the tab of Insert. If you are 100% sure that you are going to create a table, you are going to create a report based on this table, straight away click on this pivot table, or there is an arrow mark below that. When I click on the arrow mark, we got 3 options. Option number 1, from a table or a range, from an external data source, from data model. This data model is graded out. It's deactivated. Actually, this is Power Query. When you are getting the data from Power Query, we are going to use this. It's graded out because we didn't get the data through Power Query. We are getting the data straight away from Pivot. So we'll see this in our later part, how to use the table based on the data model. As of now, you cannot select this. It's graded out already. Either you have to go for this, from a table or a range, or from an external data source. I think we have it in a table. So straight away, either go to Insert and straight away click on it, or go to the arrow mark and click on from table or a range. Whichever is easier. Both are same. Both will land into the same area. Go to Insert and click on this pivot table. Yes, it opens this dialog box, or go to Insert, pivot table, from table or range. It also opens this way. Okay. So Insert, pivot. We have 3 options available here. Option number 1. Select the table or a range. So it says whether your table or range is selected. I think it would be selected. That's the reason I asked you to select the table before creating the report. If it is not selected, we have a second chance. Now you can select it. I think we already selected it. Fine. Choose where you want to place this output, where you want to place this report. New sheet or on an existing sheet. New sheet, you know, automatically it will create a new sheet before the current sheet. I think Excel will work in the before concept, correct? Whenever you insert a sheet, it always insert before the current sheet. Assume that if I am inserting a column here, I am right clicking and inserting a column. Could you tell me where the column will get inserted? Before the M. If I right click and insert a row 10, before the 10 it will get inserted. Excel always will work before concept. Same like here, if I insert a sheet, it always inserts a sheet before the current sheet. If I select the new existing new sheet. But if I go for existing worksheet, for example, I select existing worksheet and I click on OK, it will throw an error. Why? You have to select the location where you want the output. If you are using the same sheet location, straight away click here. If you are using a different sheet location, first you have to select the sheet. Suppose I want this output in sheet number 4. So select the sheet number 4, then select the cell. First you have to select the sheet, then select the cell. Same sheet means select straight away, select the cell. Different sheet means select the sheet, then select the cell. But we will see about the existing sheet in another few minutes, which will be useful for making a dashboard. Now I will go with the new sheet. Next, choose whether you want to analyze a multiple table. I told you multiple table. To create a multiple table, we have to use a feature called as Power Query is not for multiple table. Power Query is for cleaning up the data, converting the data. For multiple table, I told you one table you can create. For multiple table, you have to use one more Power Pivot. So if you are used Power Pivot, then we have to go for it. Unfortunately, as of now, we didn't use Power Pivot. So do not select it. Do not select it. Don't select it. Please do not select it. I'm saying 3 times. Why is? If I say don't select, people tend to select. I'm saying 3 times because the reason is, if you select this, some feature may not work. Some feature may not work. So please be careful. As of now, don't select it. Okay. So I'm not selecting this. Actually, I didn't do anything. Default. First one is table already selected. A new sheet is done. And don't select this add data model. Now I'm going to click on OK. Yes. Can I click on OK now? Yes. Click on OK. 3 changes will happen here. Okay. Change number 1. Of course, you would have noticed a sheet has been created. Change number 2. A pivot table is inserted here. You can see the live preview of your pivot table on the left hand side. Change number 3. On the right hand side, there is something called as field list. We'll explore the field list in another few minutes. One more change has happened. Could you tell me what is another change has happened here? First is sheet has been inserted. Second one, you can see the pivot table preview is available. This is where we are going to build our report. Right hand, you can see the pivot table field list. There is another change happened here. Very good. Contextual tab. You can see 2 contextual tab is appearing. Today, whole day, we are going to spend more time on this contextual. Pivot table, analyze, design. If this contextual tab is not visible, it means your cursor is not on the pivot table. Your cursor would have been outside the pivot table. If you place the cursor outside the pivot table, the contextual tab is hidden now. You have to place the cursor on the pivot. And same like for the field list. Your field list is visible because your cursor is on the pivot table. If you place it outside the pivot table, field list will get hidden. But we have an option available. Even you can close this pivot table field list also. Knowingly, unknowingly, if you have closed it. That's our regular habit, right? Whenever a new menu open, our first activity is to close it. Pudu menu vandale namu modal vela the close pandrattam. First time we'll close it. But if you have closed it, we can get it back. How can I get it back? Right click, show field list. Okay. Now let us explore what are all the things available here. Let us come to this gear symbol settings in another few minutes. I will come to that later. First one. This is your field list, all your column headings. All the column headings are displayed here. This is your column headings. Second, filter. What is this filter? I told you the level of pivot is Power BI. But one thing which is available in pivot table, which is not available in Power BI, is this feature. Morning, so many people are asked how to combine the data. Combining the data is very important. Similarly, splitting the data is also very important. Splitting. I have 100 customers. I want to send the report to all the 100 customers. Separate report. Then we can go for this filter area. Very powerful, very important feature. So this is used for getting multiple reports. If you want to get a multiple reports, then we can use this filter area. Column label. What is this column label used for? Column label can be used for comparison of your data. I want to compare last year, this year, how was my sales and production, or one customer to another customer, one product to another product. I want to compare. Then we can go for this column label. Row label. Of course, we are going to start with the row label now. If you want to create a row-wise report, if you want to create a normal report, I think we are going to go row-wise. Starting, we are going to start with this row-wise only. Normal or row-wise report. We are going to use this. Final one, sigma values. I believe you know what is meant by sigma. Sigma is for summarizing your value. If you want to summarize some value, then we can go for the sigma. Summarize. What is meant by summarizing? Summarizing means finding the sum. Summary report. If you have a summary report, you have only sum in summary report. You may have average, you may have count, you may have maximum, minimum, percentage, aggregate. All the aggregate formula can be used under this summarize. All the aggregation can be used under this summarize. The last one, deferred layout update. Another very powerful feature. If you have lakhs and millions and trillions of rows and columns, actually Excel will not handle. But when you get the data from Power Query, as he has told, 9 lakh, 3 sheets, I have 9 lakh, 10 lakhs, 3 sheets combined, I want to create a report. When I drag and drop it itself, it will take 5 minutes to create, it will rotate. Because pivot table will do some analysis on the background and it will create a report. If the data is too large, then it takes some time to create a report. But if you use the deferred layout update, fastly you can create a report. This is used for faster way of creating the report. Deferred, you can defer the layout update and fastly you can create a report. That's the purpose of this deferred layout update. Okay? Clear on this? What are all the elements, what are all the components, and what are all the options available on this? Is this clear? Done? Deferred layout is faster way of creating the report. When I drag and drop, it may take some time to create a report. If you use the deferred layout update, fastly you can create a report. I will show you example. All the things I am going to explain one by one. Okay? Done? Yes. One thing I forgot, just I remembered here, you asked for this one, right? This one is for how I am marking it, how I am doing it. There is an application called as Zoom8, which is a free application. You can just go to Microsoft.com and you can get it straight away from there, or Microsoft stores also you can get it. Even if possible, I use this link also. This is the Zoom8 link. You can see it's from doc.microsoft.com. Okay, so we got the latest version of June 17, 2026 also. Here all the instructions are shown here. For example, to start drawing, Control 2. That's what I am doing, Control 2. When I press Control 2, I can start drawing. W for whiteboard. So if I press W, I'll get a whiteboard here. And T for typing. R for red pen, G for green pen, B for blue pen, Y for yellow pen. That's what I'm doing actually. So control R for red pen, T for typing. I'm typing here. And how I'm drawing this, you can see it was shown here. So to draw a straight line, hold the shift key. I pressed Control 2, hold the shift key and drawing a line, straight line. Hold the Control key for drawing the rectangle. I'm holding the Control key, rectangle. Ellipse. Tab for ellipse, Control and Shift for arrow mark. That's what I am doing it. Since I am using it for a very long time, I am doing it very faster. That's all. If you have practiced it, I think you can do it very faster after this training session is over. So you can try this. Zoom8. It's from Microsoft. No need for installing also. Straight away you can use it. Just open the file and straight away you can use it. Don't try it now. Maybe in the tea break or something you try. If you start trying, then we will not go with the pivot table. So you try this later. Zoom8. And one more thing, this you can try. No need for installing any software. I think from the morning, I don't know whether you're just, I'm doing this presentation. This will be very useful. In a screen like this, when you have a large audience, your screen size is very small, I think you can go for it. But when you are doing it for very first time, it will take some time. First time means later it will be very faster. On your keyboard, Windows, hold the Windows key plus, Windows plus, zoom, plus, 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 minus, minus to reduce the zoom. Windows plus, but when you are, as I told, when you are doing it for the very first time, it may take few minutes, a few seconds. Later it will be very fast. When you are doing it for the very first time on your lifetime, it will be a little bit slower. Windows plus and Windows minus. But when you press Windows plus, you would have noticed in between here a magnifier symbol would have appeared, correct? Magnifier, like a lens like a symbol would have appeared. What you do is that lens like symbol, just minimize it. You will get that lens, click on that lens symbol and minimize this. You will get this magnifier, minimize it and put it onto your status bar. So now it will be faster. Now I can press Windows plus, 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 Windows minus, minus to reduce the zoom. If you move the mouse, you can see the zoom will move accordingly. It's not only for Excel, you can use it for any tool. It's not only, it's common for Windows. I'm doing it in Excel, since we are in Excel training. You can open anything. I can open a Word and I can do it in Microsoft Word also. Anywhere you can use this. After Windows plus, just press Windows plus, then Control Alt L. Control Alt L. Your cursor will turn like a lens. A particular area you can lens it out. You can see particular area can be lensed like this. First Windows plus, then press Control Alt L. Don't press Control Alt L straight away. You will get only a rectangle. First Windows plus, then Control Alt L. If you want your cursor to be like a lens. We don't want that lens. Remove the lens. Come back to zoom. Control Alt F. Control Alt F to remove the lens. Control Alt L to make a lens. To remove the lens, Control Alt F. That is coming back to zoom again. Okay. But before that, you should have pressed Windows plus. Otherwise, this will not work. This you can use it for any tool, not only for Excel, you can use it for any tool in the world. If you are using Microsoft Windows. Okay. Right. So let us create a report now. We have explored what are all the elements, what are all the components in Pivot. Now what is our expectation? What is my report is, I want zone wise, vehicle type wise, what is the sum of procurement cost, what is the sum of handling charges, what is the sum of logistic cost and sum of sales price and sum of margin, sales margin. So whatever I am saying wise, whatever I'm saying wise, zone wise and vehicle type wise, whatever I'm saying wise, we have to drag it and drop it to the rows. Whatever you want to summarize it, sum it, count it, average it, maximize it, minimize it, that should come under sigma values. Whichever you want to summarize it, that should be on the sigma. Which wise, zone wise, vehicle type wise, that should be under rows. Let me try it, and I recommend please drag and drop. I have seen people are just instead of dragging and dropping, just they are going and making a tick mark here. Yes, you can do that, but the problem is we don't know where it will land. Sometimes when I make a tick mark here, the zone may land into filter, zone may land into column, it may land into rows, it may land into sigma also. Better dragging and dropping. So don't go to the left hand side corner. Instead come here, now drag and drop it. Drag that zone and drop it to rows. Yes. We are getting east, north, south, west. These are all the zone names. Then vehicle type, drag the vehicle type and drop it to rows again. Yes, zone wise, below that vehicle type wise. Then I want the sum of procurement cost, sum of handling charges. As I told, dragging and dropping is always better. So let me drag that procurement cost and drop it to sigma. But we have one advantage here. If you are 100% sure, that procurement cost is in a number format, if it is not in a number format, can I format it in a better way? Yes. For that, I think Power Query will be useful. This data is perfect. That's why we are creating a report. If some problem in the data, then we'll handle it in Power Query. That's what we are going to learn today or tomorrow. Now assume this data is clean. So handling charges is also in a number format. Logistics cost is also in a number format. Sales in a number format. Margin in a number. So if we are 100% sure it's in a number, no need for dragging and dropping. If you are 100% sure, if you want a sum, no need for dragging and dropping, just to make a tick mark. Now you can make a tick mark. If that column is in a number format, if the column wants a sum, then no need to drag and drop, just to make a tick mark here. So let me do that. Handling charges, I make a check mark. Yes. Sum of procurement cost, sum of handling charges, sum of logistic cost, sum of sales price, sum of margin. Yes. We got a small report. Zone wise, vehicle type wise, what is the sum of procurement cost, sum of handling charges, sum of logistic expenses, sum of sales price, sum of margins. We'll do further more. Okay? Done? Clear? Pivot table, Power Pivot, Power Query. All the three are very, very, very easy to use. Very, very easy to learn. And very easy to forget also. Very easily you will forget the concept, because all the easiest concept we will forget it easily, correct? Toughest concept we will remember. Easiest concept we will forget it easily. So please practice it parallelly. If you are not practicing, I am damn sure after the training session you will forget it. Please do practice. Any challenges, any question, doubt, basic, silly, stop me, ask me, I can repeat it any number of times. Right? We are starting with the basics. Gradually we will go to the next level. I hope everyone has created a report, but I am not satisfied with the view of the report. What is the reason or why I am not satisfied is, you can see first it's showing the total on the top and data on the bottom. I want data on the top and total on the bottom. And I'm getting the zone name and vehicle type in the same column. I can understand this, but when I send this report to others, they may not understand. So I want to reorganize this report. So place the cursor on the table. Go to the contextual tab called as design. Under the contextual tab of design, the first option itself available called as subtotal. I think you have to tell me what is the option I am going to select here. Show a subtotal at the bottom of the group. Very good. Done. Then grand total. For some reasons, if you don't want the grand total, I think it's better to have the grand total. Don't remove it. We'll see when we can remove it. As of now, it's better to have it. So I'm not removing the grand total. I always recommend your report to be in a tabular form. Tabular form. All the report I recommend to be in a tabular form. Report layout. Show in tabular form. I recommend your report better to be in a tabular form. What is the advantage of the tabular form is, you will get the zone name in a separate column and vehicle type in a separate column. Let me try that. Report layout, show in tabular form. Yes, we are getting the zone name in a separate column and vehicle type in a separate column. But East bus, this is the procurement cost. East FISO, this is the procurement cost. But I want, when I take a printout, here, okay, I have only 4 vehicle types. Suppose I have 20 vehicle types. So this vehicle type belongs to which region? It's tougher to find out. Instead, I want the zone name to be repeated here. So let us go to report layout. Under report layout, repeat all item label. Click on it so that item label will get repeated. Okay. First, you have to select the tabular form. Then, second, you have to go for repeat item label. This is the first one and this is the second one. This is our first step. Sorry, this is our first one and then you have to go for the second one. Correct? Right. If you don't want the item to be repeated, you can go for report layout and say do not repeat. But I recommend to repeat it. What is that blank row? After each zone, south zone, north zone, east zone, west zone, I want a blank line to have a better view. That's all. So go to blank rows, insert a blank line. After east, north, south, west, there will be a blank line. If you don't want the blank line, you can switch off it. Remove the blank line. Row header. What is that row header? East, 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 north, 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 south, 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 west, west, west. It's bolded. I don't want that to be bolded. You can remove the row header. I think it's better. I recommend to remove it. But don't remove the column header. It's better to have the column header. So column header. You can see the column heading. The heading of the column is bolded. If you don't want it, you can remove it. I think it's better to have the column header. Banded rows. All the alternative rows will get banded. First row, third row, fifth row will get banded. So when you take a printout, it's easy to understand. I don't know whether you are aware of it. In olden days, computer sheets are banded. Have you ever seen it? Early days, dot matrix printer, blue, white, gray, white, it will be banded in olden days. Dot matrix, yes. Still, if you go to government office or insurance, they will give it as a banded sheets only. But we don't have a banded sheets, so we can take a printout in bandeds. Banded columns, I don't recommend. If you want, you can do that. Better colors and formatting, go to design, pivot table, styles, more button, you can change the colors and formatting. Different types of colors and formattings. Any type of colors and formattings. I'll do I think your company prefers more of gray and white. Okay. But you can ask me one question here. Do we have to do this every time whenever I create a report? For an example, I have the zone and vehicle type in a separate column. Every time I don't want to go back to the report layout and put it in a tabular form, repeat item label and the column headers and blank row between all the rows. Every time I don't want to do this, I want to set this as the default for all my report. Whenever I create a report, I always want the subtotal should come on the bottom. Whenever I create a report, always my report should be in tabular form. Whenever I create a report, the item labels to be repeated automatically. So this is what I want it for all my tables from now. All my tables from now. So, file. Click on that office button called as file. Under the file, the last one, options. Click on file, options. Under option, data, file, options, data, go to file, go to options, go to data. Below the data, make changes to the default layout of pivot table. Edit default layout. Click on the edit default layout. and you can set your layout here. As I indicated, I always prefer to have the subtotal on the bottom of the group. So you can say show all the subtotal at bottom. And I always want the grand total should be on. And I always prefer the report layout to be in tabular. And I always want the item to be repeated like this. And I want always the blank line after each zone is completed. I can select it. So these are all the things you can set it as a default for the next upcoming pivots, not the earlier one. After this, whatever the pivot you create, always the subtotal will be on the bottom, always the grand total will be on, always the report layout will be in tabular, and repeat the item label and insert a blank line. Okay. But as of now, since I'm in a training, I'm not going to do it. I'm just clicking on cancel now. If you want, you can do this, but I'm not doing it. As of now, I'm just clicking on cancel. Or even if I set it as, you can bring it to default also, reset to Excel default also. If you already set it, Excel default, maybe the old default one. Okay. So I'm resetting it. So let us follow the same thing, because I may get a different report. You may not get, should not get a different report. As of now, I'm not giving it. I'm just resetting it, and I say OK here. Right. So we have seen how to rearrange the designing of your report. Now tell me, why East region is coming on the top? Is it as per my source data? Let me go and check. As per the source data, South is on the top, North is on the second, then West, then East, West, and it's not in a proper order. So alphabetically, East comes first. But I prefer, assume that, I prefer the South should come on the top. 3 methods to do this. 3 methods. Method number 1. If you are conversant, if you are confident with using mouse, do it. If you are not confident, don't do it, because if you made a mistake, you cannot undo it. If you made a mistake that you cannot undo, please be careful on it. So I want the South region should come on the top. So first, go to the South region, the border, cell border of the South zone. There is an arrow mark with 4 header. Arrow mark with 4 header. When you see the arrow mark with the 4 header, then drag it, click and drag it and drop it wherever you want. Assume I want it before the East. So I'm dropping this before the East zone. We are dragging and dropping this before the East zone. Yes. Now the South zone comes to the top. This is the method number 1. If you are conversant, if you are confident with using mouse, do it. If you are not confident, don't do it, because if it is throwing some error, you cannot undo it. Be careful, be careful. You cannot undo it. Control Z may not work if you made a mistake. If you are not making a mistake, no problem. If you make a mistake, this may not work properly. So be careful. Yes. Go to the border of the cell. I want the South region should come on the top. Go to the border. You should get this arrow with 4 header. After getting this arrow with 4 header, you should not get other things. You should get this arrow with 4 header. Then drag, click, drag and drop it wherever you want. I want it before the East. You can see a line is appearing, a green line. That means you can place it here. Before the North, you can place it here. So wherever you want. I'm placing it before the East. South comes to the top. This is first method. Second method is very simple. Spelling with the correct case sensitive. So I want the East should come here. I want the East zone should come here. Just go to the top. Sorry, South zone should come on the top. Already East is there. I want the South should come on the top. Just go there. SOUTH. With the correct spelling, with the case sensitive. Enter. South will come to the top. This is second method. Just go there and type it with the correct spelling. If you made a spelling mistake, then there will be a problem. So the correct spelling. You have to give the right spelling. Just go to the second one and type it as South. Second method. Third method. Method number 3. This north should come on the second top, maybe before the east. Right click on the north zone. Right click on the north zone. You have an option called as move. Right click on the north zone. You have the option called as move, and it's asking where you want to move it. Whether you want to move it to the beginning of your report, or you want to move it one step up or one step down, or to the last end, your wish. For example, I will go with move up, one step upwards, or maybe above the east reach. So right click on the north and go for the move up, one step up. So now north goes one step upwards. So we have 3 methods to do it. First method is dragging and dropping. Second method is just go there and type it. Third method is right clicking and moving. Whichever is convenient, you can use it. I prefer second or third. The first method sometimes may throw an error, so you can use second or third. Out of these 3 methods, 2 methods can be used for this data. Whatever the things available in row wise. So the zone and vehicle type, yes, you can move it on the top, bottom, that's okay. But here, procurement cost, handling charges, logistic expenses, sales price and margin. Assume this margin I want to come on the first column here. So for this, or I want this handling charges should come before the procurement cost. So I want to arrange this column, this way column. So you can use only the first 2 methods. Third method you cannot do it here. First 2 method. What is the first method is? Dragging and dropping. So go to the border of the column heading, drag it and drop it before the procurement cost. Handling charges before the procurement cost. I'm dragging and dropping, yes. Handling charges comes before the procurement cost. Second method, go here and type the head, change the heading here. It's not sum of procurement cost, it's sum of, maybe I'll put the sales price. I want the sale price to come on the first here. Sum of sales price. Spelling should be correct, be careful. Or you can copy and paste also. Sum of sale price. Yes, sale price come to the first and goes to the last. Unfortunately, the right click may not work here. Right click moving will not work here. You can do only 2 methods. Whatever the things available in row is 3 methods. Whatever things in sigma, only 2 methods. Dragging, dropping, typing. Right click may not work. Next we'll see how to create our own formulas, functions, percentage, sum, count, average, maximum, minimum, percentage. Done? Yeah. Here also you can move it, but the problem is most of the systems should be very small. Maybe your system resolution is very small. So that's why I didn't say that, or else what you do is, as he has rightly told, what he's saying is you can drag and drop, but physically you cannot see the changes here. If you drag and drop, you can see the changes physically. Some system, you can see this is very small, so dragging and dropping will be a challenge. So what you do is, go to this settings, this gear symbol, click on the gear symbol. Because I am not comfortable with dragging and dropping here, I am comfortable with dragging and dropping here. So go to the settings, field and area section side by side, or field only, or area only, or section only. For example, if I go for the second one, field and area side by side. Now you may get some extra, or I will go with field only. Only the field name will be displayed. Or I will go with the area only, area section only. Only the section. Now we have some space here. So now you can drag and drop it here. Because sometimes your system resolution will be very small. In that case, you can change the settings of this. Area, section, how you want it. But by default is the first one. Field, section, area, stacked. Is the default one. I think to drag and drop, you can go for the fourth one. Area section only. Now you have a space. Here you can drag and drop. Suppose I want the margin should come before the procurement cost, you can track the margin and you can bring it before the procurement cost. This is another method to do that. Okay. Now, we got zone wise, we got vehicle type wise. What is the sum of procurement cost, handling charges, logistic cost, sum of price and margin. Now, assume I don't want the sum of margin. I want to convert it as an average. I want to convert it as a maximum. I want to convert it as a minimum. I want to convert it as some other formula here. Very simple. Just to make a right click on the particular column. Just to make a right click on the particular column. A menu is appearing. Under the menu, summarize value by. Summarize value by. Right click on the column. Summarize value by sum, count, average, maximum, minimum, product. Unfortunately, maybe in your system, you may not get this distinct count. If you are getting it also, it would have been graded out. I will tell you what is the distinct count, where we can use the distinct count. Now, as of now, I think you may not get the distinct count on the list itself. If you are getting it also, it will be graded out. We'll see that in the later part. Now, right click on this, and what is the formula you want? Whether you want a sum, by default it's sum, average, count, or maximum, minimum, or a product. Product is multiplication. I assume that I want to count how many items are there. For South region bus, how many reference number, how many invoices we have made, how many bills we have made. So right click, summarize value by count. So it's showing count. In South region bus is 14, visa is 12, 14, 18. Count. What is the count? It's not sum, it is count. But we had a sum. What we did is we had made a right click. This color. Okay. So we have made a count. Sum we have converted as a count. But I want the sum also. Sum also. Not I want to change the count into sum means very simple. You can make a right click, summarize value by. You can change it to sum. That's okay. But I want the count as well as I want the sum. As well as I want the sum here. So what we do is very simple. Drag that margin once again and drop it to the sigma. Drop that margin to the sigma value again. So you will get the count of margin as well as you will get the sum of margin. Repeating it at another time. Right click. Summarize value by. I make it as count. Then we drag that margin and drop it to the sigma here. So it's showing the sum. It's showing the count. So we got both count as well as sum. For one column, we got two formulas. Now suppose I want the average also. Right click. Summarize value by. Assume I am putting it as average. Showing average of margin. Once again, I want the sum. Could you tell me how can I get the sum again here? Again, drag the margin and drop it to sigma. Yes. So we got all the three: count, average, and sum. Next, we'll see how to create our own formulas, how to calculate percentage. Ranking, comparing. Right. So like this, any number of times you can change your formulas, any number of times you can drag and drop it. But could you tell me this average? When I come to the average column, 438.2857, I have around 7 decimal places. Here 7 decimal places, somewhere else 1 decimal places, somewhere else 3 decimal places. So somewhere else no decimal places. I want to make this as unique. I want only 2 decimal places. How do we do it? I want only 2 decimal places here. In a cell, there are more. I want to make it as a uniform format. I want only 2 decimal places. How can I convert it as 2 decimal places? Huh? Alt HK. You are saying alt is H means home. Then K. That's for comma. Okay, or we can select it, go to format cells. How can I go to format cells? Right click format cells. How can I make a right click without using mouse? Near to control or alt we have a key. Hold the function and press that control key, or you can use the shortcut key Shift F10. Shift F10 is the shortcut key for right clicking without using mouse. If you want to make a right click, Shift F10 is the shortcut key for making a right click. Or the best method is format cells. Control 1 is the shortcut key for format cells. Control 1 is the shortcut key for format cells. You can go to format cells, you can change the format. We have number format, currency format, or accounting format, or else. As he has told, you can use the alt key also, but we have standard shortcut keys. But the alt key is varying from version to version, because now the alt will go to home. Earlier version, we don't have the home tab itself. It may change in the near future, but the shortcut keys will work in all the version. So please take a note of 6 shortcut keys, predefined 6 shortcut keys. Shortcut key number 1, Control Shift 1 is a number format. Control Shift 1 is the shortcut key for number format with 2 decimals. Number format with 2 decimals. Control Shift 1. Let me do this. For example, this average column. I am selecting this average column. Control Shift down arrow. I am selecting this average column. Control Shift 1. Yes. We have 2 decimal places. Number with 2 decimal places. Control Shift 1. Control Shift 2. Time format. Unfortunately, here we don't have any time format. Maybe we will do it in our later session. Control Shift 2 is time. Control Shift 3. Date. Probably we will explore this date in our upcoming session. Control Shift 3 is date. I think you would have guessed what is the shortcut key for that. Control Shift 4. What is there above 4 on your keyboard is? Currency, dollar. So Control Shift 4 is currency format. For example, let me select the sales margin or sales price. This margin, select the sales margin column. Control Shift 4, you will get the currency format. Rupee symbol, comma separators, currency format. Control Shift 4. But I don't want currency, Indian currency format. Can I change it to Euro currency? Can I change it to USD? Yes. First press Control Shift 4, then press Control 1. First press Control Shift 4 to currency format. Then Control 1 and change your symbols. You can see almost all the symbols of the world will be available here. Euro, dollar, even bitcoins, everything is there. First Control Shift 4, then Control 1. Change your formats. Currency symbols. Control Shift 5. I hope that you would have guessed it. Control Shift 5 is percentage. One more. Now, for example, let me select the count of margins. I selected the count of margin. Then I pressed Control Shift 1. I'm getting two decimal places. 14.00, 12.00, 18.00, 9.00. I don't want the zero. The zero has to be removed. I want to be as the old format. Just 14, just 12, just 18. I don't want that 00 has to be removed from my format. On your keyboard, below Escape, above the Tab key, left hand side of 1. I told you everything. Below Escape, above the Tab, left hand side of 1, like a wave symbol, tilde or tilde. Control Shift tilde or tilde. Control Shift. This is for number without decimals. Number without decimals. And within bracket I am saying that if 0, what I mean is, if there is a 0, we can remove it in the decimal places. For example, as I told, this count of margin 14.00, 12.00. Here, when I press Control Shift tilde, perfect, it's working. But in average, I have 438.20. There we don't .29, .58. Here we cannot use that Control Shift tilde. It may not work properly. So Control Shift tilde can be used if the number format without decimal, if the decimal is having 0. If the decimal is not having zeros, then we cannot use this Control Shift tilde. So note down the 6 shortcut keys which will be useful not only for pivot table, this will be common shortcut key. You can use it in Excel. If there is no zero, sometimes some reports will come with decimal zeros. Then we can. Okay? Yes. Want to be merged, you can do that. What is this question is? I don't want this repeated values. Can I merge it? Yes, first let me remove that repeated values. Go to design, go to the report layout, do not repeat. Then what you do is just to make a right click on the pivot, make a right click anywhere else on the pivot, go for pivot table option. Under pivot table option, you can see below the layout and format, there is an option called as merge and center with the labels. If you select this, then your cell will get merged. Okay. I don't prefer normally. Before creating the pivot table, I have showed you a condition. The first condition is no merged cells. So I don't prefer it, but if you want, you can do this. There is an option of doing it. Your wish. If you want merged cells, you can go for it. I given it as repeated values. Right? So we have seen how to change the formula. Instead of the sum, we got the count, we got the average. Now, I want to know, this is fine, but I want to know which region has more percentage of profit. South region, what is the percentage of profit? North, what is the percentage? East, what is the percentage? West, what is the percentage? I want to know the percentage of my profit. So if you want to calculate the percentage, always prefer to go with sum. Based on the sum, we can calculate the percentage. Don't calculate the percentage based on the average, or don't calculate the percentage based on the count. That's not the right method. Mathematically, I'm not saying pivot, mathematically. So right click on the sum of margin, show value as. There are so many options available. We are going to explore one of the options, few options today and tomorrow. Tomorrow also we are going to explore some features. Show value as. Under show value as, let us go for this percentage of grand total. Percentage of grand total. I want to know out of 100%, what is the percentage of South Zone, what is the percentage of North, what is the percentage of East, what is the percentage of West. So right click on sum of margins and go for show value as, and let us go for percentage of grand total. Yes. Out of overall, I think South has 27%, North has 24, and East is also 26, and West is 21%. Right click, show value as percentage of total, but unfortunately, if I convert the sum into count, heading is getting changed. If I convert the sum into average, it's getting changed. But when I convert the sum into percentage, unfortunately, heading will not get changed. No other go. You have to change it manually. Only the heading has to be changed manually. Let us go here and change the heading. Maybe I'll put just as a percentage. Okay. Now tell me, how can I get the, once again, the sum of margin here? How do you get the sum of margin again here? Drag the margin and drop it to sigma. Yes. For one column, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 formulas. One is count, another one is average, another one is percentage, another one is sum. Tomorrow we are going to see something like drill down, expanding, so many advanced features tomorrow. But now, this is fine. Overall, entire company, this is okay, South, North, East. But my South region person wants to know a report. That is, if this South region is 100, I want to know what is the contribution of this each vehicle type wise. If this is 100, what is the contribution of each vehicle type wise? Sub-level, second level. Right click on the sum of margin. Show value as percentage of parent total. Percentage of parent total. I think this is the first level. So this can be treated as the parent. This is the second level. This can be treated as a child. So under the South Zone, what is the percentage of each vehicle type wise? Under that South Zone. So let me do that. Right click. Show value as percentage. There are three things. Percentage of parent row total, percentage of parent column. Don't do that. Percentage of parent total. Percentage of parent total. Now it's asking, do you want the percentage of parent total based on zone wise? Of course, I want it based on zone wise. Okay. Yes. So we got, if the South Zone is 100, what is the distribution of each vehicles? Same like if North is 100, what is the distribution of each vehicle? As usual, you cannot change the heading. Heading has to be changed manually. Percentage of zones. Okay. Let us see how to create a formula. Drag and drop the margin and put it into the sigma again. So we got count, we got average, we got percentage of parent total, we got the sum also. As in the introduction, as we indicated, stop writing formulas and functions in Excel. If you want to go for an arithmetical, mathematical calculation, prefer to do it in pivot or some other like VLOOKUP, if, prefer to do it in Power Queries. Now I want to do some mathematical calculation. For example, based on the margin, I'll put the shortcut key in some else area. There is some space. Yes, I have the sum of margin. Now I want to assume that I want to calculate some discount. Out of this margin, I want to calculate a discount. 5% of my margin. Normally, what people will do is they will go to the original source data and I will create a separate formula here equal to 5% into sales margin and copy it on the bottom. Yes, we can do it. Here, I think this table is holding only 210 rows. Fine. But if the table is too large, assume I have 3 lakh and 4 lakh or 10 lakh rows. If I add one extra column here, it may increases your file size, decreases your system speed. Instead, virtually I want to create a formula without disturbing my data. Without disturbing the data, virtually we are going to create a column. In Power BI, we call this as measures. Without disturbing the data, we want to create some formula. Same like we are going to do it in pivot now. Place the cursor on the pivot. Analyze. Click on Analyze. Field items and sets. Go to Field items and sets. I prefer this. Instead of creating a formula in Excel, I prefer, if you want arithmetical calculation, do it in pivot. Other calculation, do it in Power Queries. So go to Analyze, Field items and sets, Calculated field. So go to Analyze, go to Field items and sets, go to Calculated field. Or else, even you can use the shortcut key for it. Control Shift plus. Control Shift plus. Right? So for pivot table, field items and sets and calculated field, or use the shortcut key Control Shift plus, whichever is easier. I think both are easier. I always prefer shortcut keys. Control Shift plus. And it's asking what could be the name of the formula. Let us say the name of the formula is discount. And what's the formula? From now, after this, today, tomorrow, from now, forget the cell numbers. No cell numbers, A1, B1, C1. Forget the cell numbers. It's only your column names. Tomorrow, Power Query, Power Pivot, everything, only the column names. Remember the column names, don't get the cell numbers. From now, no cell numbers. So it says 0. Let me delete that 0. What's my formula is, let us say 5%. I'll type 5%. Into, multiply it. I want 5% into margin, sales margin. If you know the spelling, type it MARGIN. Or else, I don't know the spelling, so no problem. Scroll down, you can see that margin column is available on the bottom. Double click or click and insert. Double click on it or click and insert. Both are same. Both are same. So I make a double click. 5% into margin. Add an OK. Don't straight away click on OK. Add it and say OK. Add an OK. Add. Okay. Yes. We got 5% of my profit margin. Nothing was disturbed in my source data. Source data is as it is. But we got an extra column here called as discount. It can be addition, multiplication. You can add 2 columns also. I want the handling charges plus logistic expense. You can add 2 columns. So all the arithmetical calculation, you can do it here. Arithmetic. So I repeat the process. Analyze, field items and sets, calculated field or Control Shift plus. Formula name. What is the formula name? As of now, because already I created the formula, so I don't want to recreate it again. So just the formula is 5% into margin. Either type it or double click it.
Is it case sensitive?
Not required. But it will change automatically. Even if you type it as small, it will change into capital. Can I edit the formula? For example, my percentage of discount has changed into 5 to 6%. I want to edit the formula. Same procedure. Field items and sets, calculated field, or use the shortcut key, Control Shift plus. There is a drop down appearing here. You can see a small drop down. Click on it. there is a discount column. Click it. You can change your formula. For example, instead of 5, I want to convert as a 6%, 6, modify. And if you don't want the formula, delete it also. Don't require, you can delete that formula. If you want to modify, you can modify the formula. So stop creating some arithmetical calculation in Excel table. Try to do it in pivot. But if you want to do it cell by cell, row by row, or if you want to do some other calculation, try to do it in Power Query, which we are going to do it in the later part, today or tomorrow. Same Control Shift plus, or go to field item sets, calculated field. There will be a drop down here. Click on the arrow, your formula will be displayed. Click it, and the formula is displayed. There is a drop down on the corner. It displays your formula. Go here and edit. Suppose instead of 5, I want to make that 6. Change it to 6 and modify. Or if you don't want, delete. Control Shift 1. Yeah, done. Which one? Calculated field. First one. Drop down. There's a drop down. You have 300%. Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir. Any challenges? Percentage of? This one or this? Again. Right click. Right click on sum of margin. Show value as. Under show value as, you should have selected percentage of parent total. It will ask whether you want the parent total by zone wise. Say okay. When you have challenge that, stop me, ask me there itself. This one is percentage of grand total. Second one is percentage of current. Okay. We are seeing only the introduction of this pivot. Pivot has so many advantages like this, but it has one limitation. But I think they are overcoming the limitation in near future. But as of now, it is what we have to do. It is, for example, assume, let me take the south zone bus. 30022 is my procurement cost. If I am trying to edit it, unfortunately, it's throwing an error. We can't change the part of the pivot. If you want to edit it, if you want to modify it, could you tell me where can I do this? You have to change it on your source data. Very good. Let us go to the source data. But I don't know where is the data available. Let me apply the filter and check it. How can I apply the filter? I want a control. Shift L. Very good. Control Shift L or go to data and click on the filter. Very good. Now let me go to that zone name. I filter that zone called as South Zone. I'm filtering the South Zone. Under South Zone, I'm filtering the vehicle type as bus. Okay. So we have filtered the South Zone, we have filtered the bus. Now let me select the procurement cost. And I'm checking the total. It's perfect. 30022. The cost is perfect. It's giving the same output here. I selected this and I'm checking the total. It's 30022. Same total in my pivot also. So just for a checking purpose, I'm going to change the value here. Instead of 2779, I'm just changing it to 2800. Just I'm changing some value here. So now if I select it, the total is 30043. This should be the total. So I changed some values in my source data. Now come back to my pivot and I'm checking whether it was updated in the pivot. Unfortunately, it's not updated. What has to be done? How can I refresh it? Right click, refresh, else. Right click and go for refresh, or else even you can use the shortcut key Alt F5. Alt F5. Either make a right click and go for refresh, or you can use the shortcut key Alt F5 for refreshing. Some laptops you have to press Alt function F5. Right click refresh or Alt F5 refresh the pivot. Let me check it. Right click refresh. Yes, it was updated. But assume I don't remember this. Every time I cannot remember and refresh. So I want my, even though I forgot to refresh, I want my pivot table to be refreshed automatically. So right click on the pivot. Right click on the pivot. Last but one. From the last second one, pivot table option. Right click, pivot table option. Under pivot table option, data. Go to data. Below the data, there is a checkbox. Refresh data when opening the file. So your pivot table will get refreshed automatically when you open the file. Maybe later today evening or tomorrow, we will schedule the refresh. Every 10 minutes, every 1 hour, your pivot table should get refreshed. That we will see it in the later part. As of now, you cannot do it. You can do only this, refresh data when opening the file. Okay, but this is only for this table. I want this to happen for all my table from now. From now, all my table should get refreshed automatically whenever I open the file. Could you tell me how can I do this? For all my table from now. Morning or afternoon we did this.
File options.
Very good. File. Options. Then.
Data.
Very good. Data. File options, data. Then. Edit default layout. Super. Then. Almost you have come into the exact window.
Pivot table options.
Pivot table option. Superb. Then.
Data.
Data. Excellent. Then.
Refresh.
That's all. So all from now, all your pivot table will get refreshed automatically whenever you open the file. From now, all the newly created pivot table after this will get refreshed automatically whenever you open the file. It will get updated if you selected this. But whenever you open the file, not instantly. Instantly it will not get updated. Instantly schedule refresh, that we'll see it later. Instantly means that you have to manually refresh, right click refresh. But actually that option we expected, sir. I don't know when it will come. Actually in the last August itself, I think Microsoft has told that they are going to do it. I don't know when they are going to do it. I will show you that later. Last August month itself, they told that auto refresh will happen automatically, but they didn't do it as of now. I don't know why. I will check that. I will show you later. There is a feature where your pivot table will get automatically refreshed. But as of now, you have to do that manually. Okay. In the morning, during the introduction, I think I told you this. I started my corporate training exactly 26 years before. On the year of 2000, first and last time, I went to a company in Chennai for marketing for this Excel training. I'm an Excel trainer. I'm going to handle Excel session. Markup pandradha Excel over company. I went to a company in Chennai. They asked me one simple question: why are you coming for Excel training? We don't need Excel. Our people are living with Excel. They open Excel in morning. They will close only in the evening. They know everything in Excel. Why you are coming for Excel training? And if you pay 1,000 rupees, they will teach Word. In olden days, we had so many institutions. Now, 1,000 rupees if you pay, they will teach you Word, Excel, PowerPoint, everything. 3 months course. So why are you coming for Excel training? I told them select best 3 Excel user from your company. 3 best Excel users. I will ask 3 questions. If one person is answering one question, that will be my last visit. HR person is kind enough, you selected 3 people, I asked 3 questions also, you think what has happened, no one has answered any one of the questions. Same company, every quarter I am going for 4 days of Excel training now. And why I am saying the story? Now, every time the story is so bad. I am going to ask one of the 3 questions. Let us see how many are giving the answer. So this question I asked when? 26 years before. When you don't have Google, you don't have YouTube, you don't have AI, ChatGPT, nothing is there. But now you have everything on your hands. So you have to give me an answer for this. You have to give me a solution for this. I think you can do this. Whenever you modify your source data, your pivot table will get refreshed. Whenever modify your pivot table will not get updated, we have to refresh it. That's okay. But now before that, could you tell me, this is not the question, could you tell me how can I clear the filter now? I want to clear the filter. How do we clear? There is 2 things. Removing the filter, clearing the filter. Now I want to clear the filter, not removing the filter. How can I clear the filter? Not removing. I want the data back. Filter should be there. I want the data back. That is called as clearing. Removing means the filter will go off. So tell me how can I clear the filter now in this table? Normal question. This is not advanced level. The best method to clear the filter is Alt A C, clearing a filter. But before that, your table has to be filtered. Without filtering, you cannot clear it, right? Alt A C. Alt A C. This is for clearing the filter. But before clearing, you should have applied some filter. Otherwise, the clearing may not work. Before clearing, you should have applied the filter. Yes, how to remove the filter, I think most of you have been aware. Control Shift L. Very good. Okay. Now Control Shift L, remove the filter. Control Shift L, remove the filter. Now assume, you know that whenever you modify your pivot table will not get updated, we have to refresh it. Now tell me, I am going to assume that we are going to start a new region, central region. I have some region called as central, a zone called as central. I am going to add a new item here for the central zone. I am going to add a new item here. Tell me whether I add a new item, whether my pivot table will get updated here or not. When I add a new item at the last, after refreshing, refresh also it will not get updated. Fine. But in Power Query we can do it. But as a simple table, what you said is correct. It will not get updated. But my question is, how to update it?
Change data source.
Change data source. You have to go to the original pivot, correct? Then analyze, change data source. You have to extend your data source. How long?
Water like how much?
It means. So assume that every day I am adding 100 rows, and based on this one table I have created 3 or 4 pivot tables. So it means I have to go to every 3 or 4 pivot tables. Every day I have to change my data source. Is that so? Any other simple? Your solution is correct, but I want a simple solution. And some people will say we can add it in between. Correct? After November, you cannot add December in between. December should be added only at the last. And some people will say select the entire sheet, all the 10 lakh rows and 16,000 columns. But the problem is blank. You will get a blank. Another problem is it will slow down your system speed. We have only 10 rows, but we are selecting 10 lakh rows. It will slow down your system speed. The best, simplest method is, according to me, morning more people said that you know basics. There is no definition for basics, right? Same question I asked in one training session, what is basics? One person has given a simple answer. Whatever I know is basics, whatever I don't know is advanced. So what's correct? Even I am thinking whatever I know is basics, whatever I don't know is advanced. But according to me, whatever we are going to see now is the basics of Excel. These 2 days you are going to learn so many concepts, or you would have learned so many concepts earlier also. But I want from today everyone to use this feature. What is the feature you are going to use it? This is a normal simple table. Convert this normal simple table into an official Excel dynamic table. So we are going to convert this table into an official Excel dynamic table. If a shortcut key is assigned for a feature, that means that feature is a very important feature, correct? Control S, Control C, favorite feature, most frequently used feature. So like this, they are given a shortcut key. But if Microsoft has given 2 shortcut key, one shortcut key itself, it's a very important feature. If they are given 2 shortcut key, it means it's a very, very, very important feature. So this, we have 2 shortcut keys. One is you can press Control T or you can use Control L. Control T, remember table, Control L, list. Just for remembering I'm saying. Control T is for table, Control L can be a list. Okay, so either you can use any one of the shortcut keys. So many advantages are available. When you go for power queries also, I prefer this Control T, Control L. We'll explore it in the later part. So Control T or Control L. If you don't have any problem in the data, you do it. If you have a problem, we'll see how to solve it. This data is clean and clear, so I will go with Control T, Control L. Where is the data of the table? My table has the header. Of course, our table is having the header. Data of the table is also automatically selected. So what we have to do is just to click on OK. OK. First change. The filter is automatically applied. Second change, the rows are banded automatically. We can change the banded, that's okay. Third change, second time you are seeing it, a contextual tab called as table design. Filter is applied and the color background formatting is applied and you are getting a table design. If you go to a normal table, assume that I am going to the sheet number 2 or 3, normal table. When I scroll down, unfortunately, I am not able to see the table heading here. If I want to see the table heading, could you tell me what we do normally? Freeze. Very good. But here, since it's a dynamic table, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L are all your column headings. Place the cursor on the dynamic table and scroll down. Instead of A, B, C, D, your table heading will become the heading of your sheet itself. So auto freezed. Even if you use that manual freeze also, you will never get this option. Correct? And one more advantage is filter is also freezed. Filter is traveling along with your table, which will not happen in a normal table. Auto filter, auto format, auto freeze, auto filter freeze. Filter is also freezed along with your table. We'll see further more advantages of this dynamic. Then I will tell you how to make this table as a normal table also. I will finish off all the advantages, then I will tell you how to make it as a normal table. As per your company, you don't prefer more coloring and formatting. If you want a simple coloring and formatting, go to the design, table styles, change some colors and format. Or if you don't like any colors and formatting, just go to the very first one, none. None is no colors and formatting. No color, simple rows and columns, no colors and formatting. Okay, sir, possible to? Only for the headings. Always the heading will be on the top. This one you have to manually do because we don't know. Sometimes you will freeze it at D, sometimes you will freeze it at E, which is your column heading. But here we know that the row is the header, only one row will be there. Column you have to do it. Okay, let us come to the purpose for what we converted this into a dynamic table. The reason for converting this into a dynamic table is I want to add a new data at the last. Maybe let me add a new data, maybe PN0201. I'm going to add a new data here. Part number 0201, new data. Enter or a tab. I'm going to go to the last. I'm going to add a new data. You can see when after adding a new data, when I press enter or a tab, the heading is automatically getting freezed on the top. And I'm going to add a new zone. Let us add the new zone. Instead of adding the existing zone, I'm just for checking. I'm going to add a new zone, central zone. Maybe the same vehicle type, Control D, which will copy the table on the top. Whatever is available on the top, it will be copied on the bottom. D for duplicating. Or downwards, engine, fast moving, workshop, warehouse, something, some value, procurement cost, I'm typing something like 2000, handling charges 500, logistic cost 400, sales price something 3000. So I have added some new row at the last. We have added a new row at the last. Now let me go back to my pivot. I'll go to pivot. Right click and refresh or Alt F5 refresh. Yes. The newly added row is also updated on my pivot since it's a dynamic table. So no need for changing your data source, it will get updated automatically. Okay, that's the next advantage of this dynamic table. We'll see another 3 or 4 advantages, then we'll see how to make this table as a normal table also. So from today, from now, I prefer all your table as a dynamic. Very good. Done? Clear? Let us see a few more advantages in this dynamic. What are all the advantages we have seen as of now is auto filter, auto freeze, auto format, auto filter freeze, auto update. Now assume I want to find out what is the grand total for this margin. I want to know what is the grand total. To find the grand total, normally what people will do is they will use the function called as sum. Or some people will use this tab, there is a auto sum available. Or they will use the shortcut key Alt equal to. But instead, this is a dynamic table. What I am going to do is place the cursor on this dynamic table. Go to the table design. Under the table design, there is a checkbox called as total row. Go to the table design, total row. Or you can use the shortcut key Control Shift T. Go to the table design and check the total row, or use the shortcut key Control Shift T, whichever is easier. I always prefer the shortcut key Control Shift T. So let me do that. I am pressing Control Shift T. Yes. It automatically inserts the new row at the last and it's giving the total at the last. Simple. But you can ask me what is the usage? What is the purpose of this? This I can do it by some function itself. This I can do it by Alt equal to itself. What is the advantage on this? First advantage is I am going to filter some data. No need to go to the top because filter is traveling along with your table. So just go to the zone. Assume I am going to filter the south zone. I filter the south zone and say OK. Yes. It automatically shows me the total of the south zone, subtotal. So it finds the grand total as well as it finds the subtotal. Whatever you filter, it will show you the sum of that filtered record. The next advantage, auto grand total, auto subtotal. Not only this, I have filtered the north region. Tell me how can I clear the filter? One is you can go here and you can say clear filter or select all, or just now I told you the shortcut key for clearing the filter. Alt AC. Very good. Now assume for this margin, I don't want the sum. Can I get an average? Can I get a maximum? Can I get a minimum for it? Of course. Click here on the sales margin total. There is a drop down appearing on the right hand side. Click on the drop down and change your formula. I don't want the sum. I want the count, or I want an average. So it shows me the average. Not only here, margin, sales margin, I have the average. Sales price, go to the sales price. Same drop down is appearing. Change it to count or average or sum. So any formula you can go here and update your formulas. But at a time, one column, only one formula. So auto grand total, auto subtotal, automatically changing the formula. If you don't want this grand total, same Control Shift T for removing it, same Control Shift T for getting it back. See another 1 or 2 advantages before the break. And in a normal table, if you want to write a formula, for example, just for an example, I want to calculate procurement cost plus handling charges. What is my total? That means this plus this. H column plus I column. That is procurement cost plus handling charges. I want to add this 2 column and I want an output. Expenses, other expenses or some expenses. I want extra column here. Normally what we will do is we'll write the formula on the very first cell and we'll copy the formula on the bottom. Normal table. But since it's a dynamic table, no need to write the formula on the first cell. You can write the formula wherever you wish. Wherever you wish. So I'll go to somewhere else in the bottom here. I'll go to somewhere else. And please check that you have to be in the same row. I think I'm in the row number 107. So my cursor is in 107. How to find whether we are in a particular row? There is another method. I will explain it. So equal to, I'm going to write a small formula. Equal to, I place the cursor here and I'm saying equal to. Let me select this. As I told a few minutes before, forget the cell number. It's only your column names. From now, it's only the column names. Equal to. When I select the cell, normally in Excel, it will show you the cell number, maybe H107. But here, you can see when I click it, it shows your column names. Procurement cost plus handling charges. So this plus this. After typing a formula, what we are going to do is just press enter. Just press enter. That's all. You can see a magic here. Your formula is getting copied automatically to your entire table. No need to copy your formulas also. After writing the formula, just press enter. I think it will override. Yes. Your formula is getting copied till the end of your table. No need to copy your formulas. This will happen once again only in dynamic table, not in a normal table. Normal, you have to copy it manually. That too, you have to copy it on the very first cell and down. Here I can write the formula anywhere else and enter, it copies automatically. I don't prefer to write a formula in Excel, but if you want to write, this is the easiest method. Okay? We'll start. After a break, I will tell you how to make this as a normal table also. Now assume this table, I want to present it in a meeting like this or a webinar or a seminar, I want to present it. For example, my South region head is asking, show me only the South region data. What we will do is we'll go to the zone name and we'll say, remove the select all and we'll select only the South and we'll say OK here. That's what we do normally. But instead, based on this only, we are going to make a dashboard in the afternoon. Place the cursor somewhere else on the table, maybe at the first 10 rows. Don't place the cursor in between. If you place the cursor, you may not see it. That's why I'm asking you to place the cursor somewhere else on the top, first 1 or 2 or 10 rows. Place the cursor somewhere else here on the first 10 rows. Go to the table design. Just go to the table design. Under the table design, insert slicer. Go to the table design, insert slicer. Click on that insert slicer. It's asking for which column you want the slicer. Number or a zone name or a vehicle type, usage type, your wish. Let us go for zone. I select that zone and OK. Yes. A slicer is inserted for a zone. Move the slicer outside your table. That's it. Now I want to see only the South zone. Click on South. It shows only the details of South. Click on North. It shows the North zone details. West, East, Central. So interactively you can present your data using the slicers. This is available in pivot table. Now it's available in dynamic table also. Place the cursor on the table. Design, that's what I'm repeating it. Place the cursor on the table anywhere else on the first 10 rows. Don't place it somewhere else in between. If you place it, it will get inserted, but when you filter it, may get hidden. That's why I'm asking to place it somewhere else on the top first 3 or 4 rows. Place the cursor somewhere else on the top of the table. Go to the table design. Under the table design, insert slicer. Insert slicer. Click on insert slicer. For which you want a slicer? Zone, vehicle type, usage type, your wish. I selected zone. Okay. Just make a check mark. Okay. And move the slicer, because don't place it on the table because it may get hidden. Place it outside, bring it outside your table. That's it. Now select north. It shows only the north zone. South zone.
This is okay. These two columns, the right hand side will be, for example, what is the value exact value we can calculate here?
You want east total. That is pivot.
Here it is. So okay, it is coming automatically. I'm saying this is the same. What is the value?
That's what I'm asking. Which amount? You want the grand total or what? You want overall grand total of it.
Overall grand total here it is coming or
On the bottom you will get the overall grand total. Or if you want only the total, then you have to go for pivot.
right side you are
Pivot.
but very nice.
No, here it's total of this row, right? In the row, the total is here.
So reporting manager get a cartoon and copy.
Appo pivot is better.
But this one more option will be there. Here it is coming for
Total value put in a total value.
in here.
Or if you have a formula for total, you will get a total.
No, இப்போ north click பண்ணுங்க. அந்த சைடுல அந்த வேல்யூ வருமான்னு கேக்குது.
It's asking like if north click பண்ணும்போது north ஓட total north பக்கத்திலே வருமா?
அந்த பக்கத்திலே வருமா?
அதுதான் pivot சொல்றேன்.
Because அது one more highlight.
That is pivot. That we will do it in pivot table. We'll see comparison of data. That we will see it in the afternoon.
Need to require it to pivot again. So
Reporting pivot is better. This is just to display all the data. Report comparing this region with another region, last year, this year comparison, pivot is always better. We'll see it in pivot.
the purpose only for this only.
Data. Instead of filtering manually, we can interactively filter and show. That's all. We'll see furthermore, we have to readjust the slicer. We can put the slicer horizontally, vertically, and we'll see one more advantage of this dynamic table. Then we'll see how to make it as a normal table. And we are creating the slicer based on one table. We'll see how to make a slicer based on multiple table, multiple sheets, dashboards. So slicer we are going to use more today evening, tomorrow also. So we have just started this exercise number 1. Still the exercise number 1 is not done. We have furthermore 3 exercises to be completed before today evening, at least before today tea break or before today evening. Tomorrow whole day we have to, at least by today evening we'll start Power Query. Not at least we'll start tomorrow morning. We have to start Power Query with all your cooperation. So I'm saving the file. I think 12:30 is our scheduled time to break. We'll take a lunch break now. So we have seen how to refresh pivot table. Now we'll see how to refresh ourselves, right? So we'll go for a break. So I'm going to stop the video recording. I'm not going to pause.